To many Transformers fans, Optimus Prime is the face of the franchise. Some have even compared him to Superman. But since his toy was discontinued in 1986, Hasbro and Sunbow took a daring move by having Optimus Prime die after his final confrontation with Megatron. Because of fan backlash, the decision was made to revive the character at the end of the third season.
Yes, Skylinks. And this time, no force in the universe can stop me.
However, the cartoon stopped producing new episodes in 1987, and a new toy didn't reach the shelves until 1988. In Japan, however, 3 exclusive series were made taking place after the US cartoon ended, but skipping the events of the rebirth. It even featured the new Powermaster Prime toy, with some alterations in Super God Master Force. Wait, that's not Optimus Prime? While the concept of killing and then reviving Optimus Prime is now a commonplace in almost every Transformers series, it was certainly a shocking experience for fans in 1986. So much so that fan backlash pushed the makers of the cartoon to revive Optimus Prime in a 2-part episode in 1987. While fans were happy to see him return,
I can't begin to tell you how great it is to have you back, Optimus.
It's great to be back up.
there was some continuity errors caused by it, which is something that I did cover in a previous Transformers discussion. Recognizing the importance of the character, Hasbro and Takara began development of a new Optimus Prime toy that hit retail shelves in 1988, known as Powermaster Optimus Prime.
A new Optimus Prime is here.
I transform Optimus! Powermaster Optimus Prime, greatest leader of your time!
It's great to be back.
This upgrade featured a trailer that transformed into a battle station, while his Powermaster partner, High Q, transformed into his engine, allowing his cab to transform into robot mode. In addition, he could combine with his trailer, forming the first Transformers Super Mode for Optimus Prime.
Optimus is becoming a super Power Master.
Who will win? Find out in Marvel Comics.
In the Marvel Comics, Optimus Prime's death in issue 24 came with an interesting backdoor to bring him back. His mind was literally stored on a floppy disk by Ethan Zachary. Once the Autobots learned of this, they tried and failed to revive him in a new body. But Goldbug would lead a team of Autobots to the planet Nebulos to ask their chief scientist, High Q, to help them. High Q explained that the fuel resources on the planet were radiated to become poisonous to Cybertronians after the Transformers battled there previously as Headmasters and Target Masters. To revive Optimus Prime, High Q built him a new body that could merge with his trailer. To save Optimus Prime and the Autobots from certain death because of the poison fuel, High Q upgraded Joyride, Slapdash, and Getaway into Power Masters. The Nebulans, Hotwire, Lube, and Rev became their respective partners, while High Q partnered with Optimus Prime. With the Power Master process, the Nebulan scientists are modified to transform into the engines of the Autobots, acting as a fuel source for the Transformers. This would prevent them from dying of poison fuel and made the Transformers temporarily more powerful, hence the name Power Masters. However, the side effects to their partners increased their metabolism exponentially, forcing them to eat large quantities of food. The Decepticons, Darkwing and Dreadwind, also teamed up with the Nebulans Throttle and High Test as Power Masters as well, as they terrorized the citizens of the planet. While they could combine in jet mode as the powerful Dreadwing, the Decepticons were eventually defeated by the revived Optimus Prime. Returning to take command of the Autobots, Optimus Prime continued the battle against the Decepticons until Unicron attacked Cybertron. The only weapon capable of destroying the Chaos Bringer was the Matrix, which through a series of events was tainted by evil and possessed by the Decepticon Thunderwing. Once Thunderwing was torn apart by Unicron's power, the machine-hating human Circuit Breaker used her powers to stall Unicron long enough for Optimus Prime to separate from High-Q and reclaim the Matrix. Purging the Matrix of its evil energies, Optimus Prime then flew into Unicron's maw as he unleashed the power of the Matrix and destroyed Unicron. In the aftermath, what was left of Powermaster Optimus Prime gave command of the Autobots to Grimlock before dying once again. However, High-Q was still on Cybertron, and since his mind was binary bonded to Optimus through the Powermaster process, he was still merged with him. Eventually, the last Autobot, one of the original 13, used his power to reform High-Q into Optimus Prime in his new Action Master body. As for Optimus Prime's appearance in the cartoon, his revival was a bit too early for his Powermaster upgrade to make an appearance in the show itself, despite making several commercial appearances. The box office failure of Transformers the movie forced the cartoon to end in a 3-episode 4th season titled The Rebirth, which introduced the Headmasters and Target Masters. However, in 1988, there was a pseudo-5th season of the cartoon that aired select episodes from previous seasons, including the More Than Meets the Eye pilot, Five Faces of Darkness, The Rebirth, and even Transformers the movie, split up into 5 parts. To bookend these reruns were live-action segments with a young boy named Tommy Kennedy, who meets with Powermaster Optimus Prime outside of Autobot City to listen to the Autobot leader's stories of past adventures.
Now I've really got to get back to Autobot City.
Would you like a ride?
You bet.
While it is unknown how the cartoon version of Optimus Prime received the upgrade as a Powermaster,
Okay, what would you like me to tell you?
Tell us the real scoop, the behind-the-scenes super secret story of how you came back from the dead.
we can only assume it took place sometime after the Rebirth. In the Japanese continuity, Takara decided to ignore the events of the Rebirth and continue the series with their first of 3 full-length anime series titled The Headmasters. Because Optimus Prime had released the energy within the Matrix in The Return of Optimus Prime Part 2,
The wisdom of the ages. It's lost. No, not lost. We're all a little wiser now.
Vector Sigma had begun to destabilize, and the Decepticons began an all-out assault on Cybertron. Hot Rod eventually reclaims the Matrix and has it recharged with the ghost of Alpha Trion, as he becomes Rodimus Prime once again. But instead of using the Matrix to stabilize Vector Sigma, Optimus Prime used his own life energy as he once again sacrificed himself. In the following series, Super God Master Force, the Headmasters and Powermasters of that year were handled very differently than their American counterparts. Instead, humans were given bracelets to connect to lifeless transectors, and with the power of the Master Force, they too could transform. The Power Masters in the series, known as God Masters, were much more powerful than the Headmaster Juniors, and both the Autobots and Decepticons had humans who transformed into the engines of their Godmaster transectors. The leader of the Autobot Godmasters was none other than the Japanese native, American truck driver named Ginrai. Through a series of events, he acquired the transector that was originally intended to be an upgrade for Optimus Prime. As such, when his truck cab transformed, he clearly looks like Prime. As the battles continued, he eventually found the second part to his transector, the truck's trailer, which combined with him to form Super Ginrai. The added power allowed him to defeat King Poseidon, or as he's known in the US, Piranacon. However, Super Ginrai was no match for the Decepticon Overlord, who came close to killing the Autobot Godmaster. Overlord then left for space to attack a human base on the moon. To pursue the Decepticons, the Autobots constructed a drone named God Bomber that transforms into an armored trailer. Combining with Super Ginrai, the two could merge to form God Ginrai, which allowed the Autobot Godmaster leader to fly into space. The added firepower, in addition to a little help from Fortress Maximus's brother, Grand Maximus, allowed God Ginrai to protect the Earth against Overlord and the newly upgraded Scorponok, now known as Black Zarak. In the final battle, God Ginrai unleashed his ultimate attack, Fire Guts, against Black Zarak, destroying the evil Decepticon, as well as Devil Z, who had been controlling the Decepticons. Promptly after the battle, the Transectors came to life, discarding their human partners as the Autobots and Decepticons continued their battle in space. In the following series, Transformers Victory, the now fully sentient Autobot God Ginrai would return to help Starsaber face off against Deathsaurus. Unfortunately, he was critically wounded by the new Decepticon leader. To save him from certain death, Wheeljack, Perceptor, and Minerva would rebuild God Ginrai as Victory Leo. But a side effect of his transfer into a new body made him wild and uncontrollable in lion mode as he ripped apart the Decepticon breast force. But cries from Starsaber's human companion, Jan, brought Victory Leo back to his senses.
Victory Leo!
His new and more powerful body could also merge with Starsaber to become Victory Saber, who was powerful enough to defeat Lio Kaiser and Deathsaurus. Another version of Ginrai was part of the BotCon 2014 set as a recolor of Classic's Optimus Prime in Ginrai's famous Fire Guts colors. Set in the Wings universe, Ginrai was commander of the Cybertronian Knights as they battled against the Cybertronian pirates, the Starseekers. The legacy of Ginrai might have led to some confusion as to whether or not he was actually Optimus Prime, since his body was intended for the leader of the Autobots in Japanese continuity. A special edition all-black redeco of Super Ginrai was released in Japan as Nucleon Quest Super Convoy, but outside of his tech spec, there's no fiction surrounding this version of Optimus Prime. However, Optimus Prime did return in the Japanese manga Battlestars, with a new upgraded body named Star Convoy, but that toy never saw release in the US. The original God Ginrai toy was reissued in the US as Powermaster Optimus Prime with Apex armor. God Bomber, now renamed Apex Bomber, is a non-sentient drone that responds to Optimus Prime's orders during battle. Their combined form gives Powermaster Optimus Prime superior weapon blast deflection in addition to flight. The identity of Apex Bomber left fans confused since his tech spec referred to him as Optimus Prime's roller drone. One of Optimus Prime's original components with his G1 toy was Roller, who appeared several times in the G1 cartoon. It wasn't until years later, in 2015, that an Ask Vector Prime entry confirmed that Apex Bomber was in fact a rebuilt Roller.
Down but not out. Roller's one tough little Autobot.
In Japan, however, a version of Roller was trapped in between dimensions after the death of Optimus Prime. He was rebuilt by Unicron to combine with Cyclonus as a limb for Grand Galvatron. But when Optimus Prime was temporarily revived to become Optimus Maximus in the fight against Unicron, Roller became one of Optimus Maximus's limbs to put an end to the Chaos Springer. Saddened that Optimus would die once again, Roller stood guard over his leader's body until the Battlestars recovered an ancient power source known as the Zodiac to revive Optimus Prime. They also rebuilt Roller into Prime's upgraded trailer to combine with Optimus Prime, forming Star Convoy, going along with the remolded Power of the Prime's toy. Outside of G1, several references have been made to either Optimus Prime's Powermaster upgrade or the term Apex Armor. The first new super mode for Optimus Prime was in the anime Car Robots, or Robots in Disguise in 2001. This Optimus Prime transformed into a fire engine, and the front section formed a familiar-looking robot mode. The rest of the fire truck could form a battle station and could separate into parts to become his battle mode. In Transformers Armada, Optimus Prime's trailer could transform into a battle station as well as provide him a super mode as well. Instead of a Powermaster partner, this Optimus Prime gained power from the Minicon Sparkplug. In Transformers Energon, Optimus Prime's trailer carried 4 battle drones that could combine to create a Power Ranger-styled super mode. In Transformers Cybertron, Optimus Prime again transformed into a fire truck, and this time he was heavily armed for battle. The back section of the truck became his winged super mode that is clearly influenced by the design of God Ginrai. In the IDW comics, Sentinel Prime donned the Apex armor to face off against Megatron before being brutally beaten by the new Decepticon leader. Megatron, being victorious, turned the armor into his personal throne. In Transformers Animated, Optimus Prime received a jetpack upgrade during the final battle that looked very similar to God Ginrai.
My name is Optimus Prime!
In Transformers Prime, Miko finds and uses the Cybertronian relic, the Apex armor, to help fight against the Decepticons.
Who's breaking through now?
And Optimus Prime's upgrade in Season 3 bears a striking resemblance to God Ginrai as well.
Commander? Sir, you're looking robust.
The first new version of Powermaster Optimus Prime came from the Titans Return toy line. As a retool of Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, this version of Optimus Prime does not have a smaller cab robot mode, but it does come with a Titan Master partner named Apex. The toy was retooled once again in Japan as an upgraded Super Ginrai to go along with a new version of God Bomber to form God Ginrai. Super Ginrai was then released in the US as part of the Siege on Cybertron set under the name of Magnus Prime for trademark reasons. While there is a distinction between the Japanese character of God Ginrai and Optimus Prime's upgrade as a Powermaster, it has not stopped some fans from being confused about the two. In fact, the hilariously bad dub from Omni Productions even goes so far as naming the human character Optimus Prime.
Well, I think it's fate that you and I have met today, Optimus Prime.
But these were the same people who called Blaster Billy, Spike as Sparkle, and Blur as Wally. So it's best to avoid these dubs like the plague.
Come on, Wheelie. Of course I want you to come. We're buddies, aren't we?
You know how to please me, don't you?
In addition, instead of High Q, Optimus Prime's Powermaster partner was named Ginrai when he was reissued along with Apex Bomber. Perhaps High Q was injured or killed in battle, and Ginrai took his place. As far as canon is concerned, it all depends upon whether or not you follow the US or Japanese continuities. Either you prefer God Ginrai, who becomes Victory Leo, with Optimus Prime and Roller being rebuilt as Star Convoy, or that Optimus Prime is rebuilt as a Powermaster and Roller becomes Apex Bomber when Ginrai takes over for High Q. I hope this clarifies the difference between Powermaster Optimus Prime and God Ginrai. Personally, I follow the US cartoon timeline, with the Japanese series being a divergent splinter. But what do you think? Do you prefer God Ginrai and Star Convoy? Or do you prefer Apex Armor Powermaster Optimus Prime? Or do you like both?
Did you get your questions answered? Yes. And every answer led to a bigger question.
Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you like this video, be sure to thumbs up and subscribe. I'd like to thank my patrons and channel members for your support. I have many more Transformers videos like this coming soon, so stay tuned. And as always, until next time, till all are one.
Here, have a ton of fun!
Your aim's improving, Megatron.